listen, bring who you want to be on the album. So I went and got my little brothers, Rex and Effect. And then his favorite artist was Heavy D. So I put them all together. That's why Heavy is on Jam. And I just say, you know what? I was working on Q-Tip because Q-Tip gave me the room to do all the demos for Michael Jackson. He gave me his little rooms like this, and he let me bang out in there with my MP. I was making all the demos. So I was like, yo, I got to do something for Q-Tip. And then Janet wound up doing something with him. So, but yeah, he was definitely one of the people to help me put the music together for Michael. Yeah.
Know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah. But yeah, man, coming from the projects, you know, we learn how to appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying? You know this, you know, and all my friends. You know, I grew up with Rich Porter. We went to high school together. And Alpo and those guys and AZ, those are all my friends. And then, you know, coming from St. Nick, you know, we were downtown. We never hustled around our way. So we hustled 10 blocks away. So our parents, you know, didn't get involved. Yeah. So that's what I did, you know. And then when I got in trouble, music was my savior. So I just knew that, you know, I put things in the universe and I said, you know, one day I want to work on this, or one day I'll get to work with Michael Jackson. I put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you catch yourself looking at Michael Jackson? Like, was you ever in the studio,
yeah,
staring at him when he can't see you and just be like, yo?
At one point, yeah, yes. I
MJ.
didn't think it was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you don't think something is real,
legend, you an icon. But MJ, bro, sitting there, like, did you ever look at him at one point like,
I'm in the room, yeah. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I couldn't tell nobody because I signed a 50-page non-disclosure contract. So I couldn't really tell nobody, but I snuck and called my brother. I was like, yo, after Michael was like, yo, you need to start putting us in magazines. You need to start doing interviews. And why you ain't talking about it? This was 6 months after working with him. I was like, yo, you gave me this contract. I'm not talking about you. He's like, please. He started laughing. Please go out and do media. You're special to this project. And I said, man, I don't even know if I made the album. He took me in the room. He started laughing. He took me in the room. He showed me 50 songs, and all the songs that was in the first and the second column made it. So I seen 6 of my songs. I was like, that's when I called my brother. I was like, just forget about it. I'm just going to tell you, we made it. I told my brother Markel, I said, yo, I got this record.
Yo, Teddy, you said
called
we
Remember
rich,
the Time. Huh?
Yo, you said we rich. This shit remind me of, what's that movie, Harlem Nights?
Yeah. I got Sunshine.
When the guy was with Sunshine, he said,
yeah,
baby, I'm not coming home no more.
Hey, that exactly was the call, because I wasn't coming home. He wouldn't let me leave for about 1 year and 4 months.
Well,
listen, after singing the
hostage when he meets you, he keep you hostage.
No, check this out. We sung the first verse. We did the first verse on Remember the Time. This dude ain't come back for the second verse. He took a trip to Switzerland. He called me from the brick phone. He bought me one of them brick phones. You know, the brick phone with the the old joint.
The shit, $100 a minute. Yeah,
right.
That phone.
But he bought it for me and paid for it, you know, so he could stay in touch with me. So he called me and he said, you know, I'm on a flight going to Switzerland. I have to approve my stores in the mall and all this stuff. I was like, Michael, I miss my family. He's like, bring them there. I was like, Michael, come on, man. I miss my friends too. They can come too. Please don't go home. So that was the whole thing.
So
Michael.
Your friends too met him. Friends and family met. Your friends and family met Michael Jackson too?
Yes, my daughter Deja, she got pictures with him. We hung out, you know, Michael would hang out with her and B. Howard and all when they were young kids. We were working together.
When you was where was you at when you heard MJ passed away? Where was you at physically?
I was in
When you
I
had
was in Korea. I was doing working on K-pop. I did a lot of K-pop music, and when I was in Korea, I was actually in my hotel, the Park Hyatt Hotel, and I got a call from Carol Kim, who assisted me. She was my assistant when I was working with Michael, and she watched my daughter Deja while I worked. So her son is my godson. She called me out of the blue, and she was crying hysterical. I was like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And she told me, when that happened, I had to come back home, you know. So I ended up back in LA, and then, was there for the family, anything needed. I went to the memorial, I went to the reception, and, just was there for the family.
I said, when MJ, right? So
Amen.
I never met him, but that's why I'm asking you these questions, because I wouldn't know how I would act around MJ. I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
it
I'm
real with
telling you,
you.
I took one of the biggest street dudes to meet Michael Jackson. I'm gonna tell you what he did. Matter of fact, two street dudes. Well, actually, when Mike Conception, Uncle Mike, I took him, but he always knew Michael, but like in an intimate setting, he was never there. So when he first, when I got there together, it was like he turned from like, yeah, like, oh, sweat. I just now the other person was Benzino. I brought Michael to Virginia, and I was working on the Booty record with Benzino. And I brought Michael in the studio, introduced him to Benzino. Benzino was like, "Oh shit, I just met Michael Jackson." After Michael left, yo, dudes break down.
Yeah, that's Michael Jackson beat. That's
Dudes
different.
break down.
I remember when I was watching the memorial, I had a show in like Albania, and I was just watching the memorial. They had it on over there, and I was just crying like a baby. And my crew, they look up to me like, like Joe Strong, Machis.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the crack of the door was open in the hotel, like I didn't know, and they looked like they were so scared, like they never seen me like that. So the crew was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like Jose had cried about, and they walk in and it's the Michael Jackson memorial, and I'm fucking crying, and I'm crying for It's
Yo,
powerful. The thing I take out of that the most was Jennifer Hudson's performance.
yes, amazing,
That
amazing.
shit was so, to this day, is one of the most amazing performances I ever seen in my life.
It
And
was.
that was crazy right there. So you go from Harlem, right? So I talked to Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat went from Harlem to the ATL. You didn't go all the way there. You
Yes, I
stopped
did.
at VA.
I went to Atlanta first. Me and Gene and
So you
Aaron, we
went.
all had houses there. 1989.
So you went out. So you went. You went to Atlanta first too, like with
Yep,
Sweat and all them.
I did. And
And then
then
why
when
did you
Gene,
go to Virginia out of all places?
well, when me and Gene broke up, I didn't want to live on the same turf. I didn't want to, I didn't want to stay up or have no confrontation. So I went
Hold
back to
up.
New York.
All right, let's stop right now. This is a joker moment, right? Because nobody talks about this. Gene Griffin.
Yeah.
Explain who Gene Griffin was. May he rest in peace. Because
In layman terms, it's my godfather. In layman terms, he was the father of Suge Knight. He
so in
was the
other words,
teacher, the
Suge Knight was
mentor.
like the DNA of him.
Exactly. So
I
that
know
gives
this.
you who he is, and who he was. But with me, he wasn't that way because I was his godson, and he was more like Joe Jackson without the belt. I didn't never really go out or hang out. I've been in studios next to the club, like Studio 54. I was down at Soundworks, and I was up at Axis, and then we were downtown, right around the corner from Justin's Soundworks Studios. That's where I
I'm
did
gonna tell you a
Michael
crazy
Jackson
story.
stuff.
Oh no, get out of here. He came to New York. Michael Jackson was in New York.
Yeah, we worked out of there. We worked out of later on. We worked out of Hit Factory. He built me a penthouse studio in 12 days.
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor he was up there. They didn't let me and Pun up. Me and
Yeah,
Pun
he
had a
never took
session and
the
they was like,
elevator.
yo,
He never took
he
the
took the
elevator. He
car
took
into the elevator.
the car shaft thing. He always
The car
drove in the
shaft.
car.
So
Yeah.
one of the engineers told me that Michael Jackson used to come up there, that he was up there, and they take the escalator. They would never let us go up, and we never believed them because we never saw him.
Yeah, he was there. We both were up there. He said, you know, go home, get your clothes, you know, and pack, because we're gonna be in here. I'll have this finished 12 days. I promise you. And then I'm in that studio, got a bedroom, got a game room, got a room for my security, and the penthouse studio was SSL, and it got one of my favorite SSL boards. So we were working out of there.
You know, it's so crazy because I remember that same studio and that same floor you talking about. One time I went
It's
over there to
sexy.
do a remix. Yeah, I went to do a remix with Mariah Carey, and I seen the craziest shit. While I'm talking to her, she had some women massaging her the whole time. While
Yep,
I'm
in the
talking
room.
to her, huh?
In the bedroom, right?
Yeah, massaging her while I'm talking to her. And I'm like, yo, ain't this some fucking shit, man? Like,
That
I'm talking
that
about
was my room. I
she
was
got
the
an
first one in
automatic
that room.
massage person in that motherfucker.
Right? That was the sexiest studio I've ever been in, and built in that short period of time. But I know the room. I was the first one in that room. That was my bedroom.
That's fucking crazy. You know, you went to VA.
Yeah.
Timbo the King, Pharrell, Missy, all these people come up under you, huh?
Well, not under me. Basically, Pharrell and Chad and the Neptunes. I was at I did talent shows at Pharrell's school, Princess Anne. And when I did a talent show, one particular time, the whole school signed up to be a part of the talent show, and Pharrell was with the Neptunes. When they did the show, I heard so many people sing. You know, of course, we can get singers all day, but you can't get talented people as talented as these guys, Chad, Shay, and Pharrell, Mike Etheridge, and that was a whole team. And then some of them just kind of peeled off, and Pharrell and Chad just kept going. You know, one of the songs that really showed that these guys were more 3000 and more new millennium than the 90s. They were so ahead of their time. So when I did Rum Shaker, Pharrell wrote that. He wrote my rap. That rap was more like you still saying it today.
Oh no, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
So he wasn't signed to you. Pharrell wasn't signed to you. You just
yeah,
worked with him.
at one point as management, I think, and but I couldn't really move fast on them because I was just gearing my deal with Interscope and you know getting out of the deal with MCA. So I was dealing with all of that stuff. So I just I gave them a release. You know, I didn't hold nobody back. You know what I'm saying? And when that happened, still today they thank me. You know, because if it wasn't,
And you could have been a
for
crook.
that,
You could have been a piece of shit. You could have.
yeah.
You know how this
But
game works. You
that's
know how
never been me. You know, it's almost like I grew up not being like my father and my godfather. I grew up being the opposite. You know, because I always wanted to see fairness in the music industry because I've been in the industry for a long time. So coming from an artist perspective, being a record company and a publishing company now, I see what they go through, and that's one thing I would never want them to go through. So I don't do signs. I don't sign an artist. I do a partnership with them because they have responsibility just as well as we do.
You know, one of the
You know?
biggest misconceptions of the game, I tell people all the time, is when they say somebody who's an artist shouldn't sign another artist. I think that's the
Exactly.
biggest lie because I think we've been fucked and robbed for so long that we actually, if we have a good heart, we're going to make sure that we're going to help these artists succeed and make
That's
sure
right.
nobody takes advantage of them.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And that's why I think the misconception is off, because here you are, you saying, yo, I've been all around. I done had the gangsters manage me. I done this and this and that. I done went to Korea, back to MJ. Last thing I'm gonna do is trap somebody.
Yeah,
So,
do the same
so
thing, you know?
you
It
know what
doesn't
happened to
pay.
me? You know what happened to me is oh, I can tell you story. You know,
I know.
DJ,
I mean,
uh,
I know
DJ
your
Khaled.
story.
DJ Khaled. I signed DJ Khaled and never took a dollar from DJ Khaled. Like literally,
Amazing.
because he was my little brother, I wanted to see him get on, and I never wanted to argue with him over money. Never. So I said, yo, Khaled, this is you. I signed him. This is you. Got him his deal. Now he's bigger than I can ever be, or whatever the case. But the
It is.
same thing with a bunch of people I helped, that I felt like, yo, this is my family. I don't want to end up arguing with them over no money.
Right.
So, and I make my own money, so I might as well do my own thing. Timberland the King is in the comments right now.
That's my
Timberland.
brother. That's my brother for life. You know, it's so crazy now. Finishing that story to the studio, and Missy came before Tim, and Missy was like, "You got to meet Tim." And then Tim would never come, but Tim, you know, she told Tim, you know, he want to meet you, like, and then he just getting together, and we did Get So Lonely. I was like, Dad, I need him to get on this record. So we did the Janet Jackson Get So Lonely remix.
I get so
And
lonely.
when we did that
Them
together, I
drums
was
is
like, Dad,
moving.
I want to do more with him. And it just so happened he moved. And he moved to Miami. And when he moved to Miami, I was like, yo, am I going to be the only one here? Because Pharrell moved later on. So I was like, yo, I'm out of here. I got to go to LA, or then that's when I went to Atlanta. I got
You know,
married.
Timbo moved over here.
Yeah. So when he moved there, I
Timbo,
just said, you know, when they both moved out, I moved to Atlanta, and then I moved to LA.
you know, Timbo moved to Miami. He's been my brother ever since. And we're like family. And, you know, we never even done business or nothing like that. We just love each other. Love each other. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up. It's that
Our
brotherhood.
kids hang out. You know, he's one of my favorite people on earth, you know, Timbo the King, man. And so you, Bobby Brown, Keith Sweat, there's rumors they might go head to head. Keith Sweat said the only guy he'll go on versus against is Bobby Brown. Do you think this will ever happen? And are you conflicted in this battle?
I'm definitely conflicted, just like Bobby was with me and Babyface. He was definitely conflicted. That's why he couldn't go one side or another. Me, I can't go either side because they got hits. You know, they got great records, and I'm sure people would love to see something, you know, with two R&B kings.
You know, your man Keith Sweat said the other day that he wrote "Let's Chill with Y'all,"
Mm-hmm.
and he was supposed to use it for the wedding scene in New Jack City, and
100%.
y'all switched it up on him. He said management, I guess he meant rest in peace Gene Griffin. He said management said he had to use another record on that joint.
You know, it's so crazy. It was a Gene move, and he made that decision. But it was also my move as well, because I felt like the record, when I set out a record for someone, that's what I dream of doing it. So if I have a record for you, I'm gonna hold that record for you, because except for when Heavy D would come by and just take people records. He'd take Rex and Effect records all day. Now that we found love was Rex and Effect. He was like, yo, that's mine. I gotta have it, little bro. I gotta have
Yeah, you
it.
know, Heavy D opened the door for me, Biggie, Pun, like and I remember trying to be like Heavy D, dress like him when I was growing up, and dance like him. You know, I remember the first time I saw Heavy D was outside of the rooftop, and I was just like,
Oh, so you know Rooftop.
of course, like
You know that's my uncle,
who?
Willie Burgers.
Oh, Willie Burgers, your uncle from
Yeah, Willie.
145th. I used to be out there in Willie Burgers.
Well, Well, we used to have Rooftop Records. We signed Kumo D. We signed
Wild Wild West.
Classical 2.
The Wild
And we
Wild
had the
West.
we had the record company upstairs of the rooftop.
Shit, I never knew you. I never knew you was in that. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
my partner
You
Gusto.
produced. You produced It Takes Two to make a thing go right, huh?
No, I gotta correct y'all. I was part of the album on Joy and Pain. I can't take
Oh.
that credit from Rob Bass. You know, a lot of people kept saying because they'll see
Who
my
produced
name.
that?
But Rob, that kid is Rob to me was the first Kanye West because he made beats. And he would spit them beats, man. Rob, that dude is amazing.
So I knew him
And
from
that,
over there, 132nd Park Avenue. And they took off. And I'll tell you an ill story. I was at the Castle in the Bronx. And that's when that record was like #1 in the world. And we waited for him. And it was like 3 in the morning. They came late. And I remember one time, it was like maybe, they said, Rob Bass in the building, 10 minutes, he coming out. When I tell you that whole crowd
went nuts.
went, woo, yeah, woo,
Wow. That's
yeah,
what they do.
woo, yeah. I mean,
The
in
whole
unity,
crowd.
2,000, the whole like you could have dropped the quarter in between the woo and the yeah, and you would have heard
Right?
the quarter. Like insane.
Wow.
I
That,
never seen
yo.
no shit like that in my life. I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, Rob Bass and rest in peace, Easy Rock, right? And then, so, man, it's so much to talk to you about, Teddy. I'm gonna tell you an ill story you wouldn't know. I got a long scar on my neck, right? A long scar. And one time I went to a club, Studio 54, and Guy
Wow.
was performing. And when they reopened it, I was in there, Dapper Danned out, has jury on, and
Right?
some guys try to rob me. So I'm fighting like 30 guys, and that's where I got my neck cut in the back of my neck. You
Get
guys were
out.
actually on stage. You
So
wouldn't
you
know.
were there when they pushed the whole stage. They pushed the whole stage to the wall.
Listen to
You
me.
remember that?
I was in there. I got cut that night from neck to, big scar. And I was fighting like 30
Wow.
dudes by myself because they try to rob me. But the craziest shit is while I'm fighting everybody, right? I'm looking on stage and guys performing.
That's crazy. That is
Y'all on
crazy
stage
right
like,
there.
groove me,
Yep.
baby.
We started out
Tonight.
with Teddy's Jam and we ended up with Groove Me. But that
Let me
whole
tell you something.
the commotion was that I think that was because of your fight. The commotion went nuts and everybody pushed the stage to the wall.
Man,
And I
let
was
me
like,
tell you
yo,
something.
why is the stage moving?
That shit was crazy, man. I had to fight like 30 guys by myself because they were trying to rob me. I had a Dapper Dan outfit on my chain. It was like, who the fuck is this? Like,
Where they
and
look
I
like
was
they
in there
from?
too deep.
Where they look like they from?
They was from Brooklyn.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, they was from Brooklyn. I tried to catch the guy because he was a little guy, man. He had a black. Remember when they was rocking the black silk shirts?
Yep.
So he had a black silk shirt open, and I never forget. I chased him in the crowd. Maybe that's where that commotion you talking about.
Yeah,
I chased
everybody
him in the
just
crowd after because I'm about to fight 30 big dudes. A little dude comes like this. I look at him. I'm like, yo, he ain't no threat. So he sneak cut me. When the girl behind me looked like so shocked that she had blood. She was wearing white. She had blood on her.
wow.
The dude start running. So I start chasing him into the crowd. And you know when these people ski down the mountain where they turn, his silk shirt was like, whack, whack. He was cutting through the crowd. I'm chasing him. The silk shirt is like, whack, whack. Like he's skiing down a mountain. I never caught him. I fought his friends for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
And they finally convinced me to go in the ambulance. But that was crazy because
That's a crazy night because that was right next door to the studio that we did that
studio you
album.
be at. Man, let me tell you something. That shit was crazy, but you know, and here I am talking to you now, 2020. You know what
Man,
I'm
we could
saying?
talk about a lot. If you New York, we could talk about a lot because we used to do everything. Red Parrot, Palladium, we did everywhere, man. Especially me and Keith. We performed. I won in every club downtown. Every club.
I, I told Keith. I don't think I told Keith. I think I said it in the pre-show. I said, "Let's Chill" was probably the only record in my life I ever wrote down every lyric to. Like, you know,
Wow.
I wanted to know every lyric of that song, and I wrote it all down. And it's crazy because we was in the streets running wild, and you, Teddy, I realized without inadvertently, you was making like drug dealer anthems, like
That's
and
all I made. I was around nothing but drug dealers. Like my brother, everybody. We all were in the studio. Rex and Effect, we all be in the studio, and I'll just come up with some crazy stuff, and everybody's like, "Yo, let's do that with Guy." We did Tease Me Tonight. All those records down in Soundworks and soundtracks as well.
man, that shit was like, yo, man, that's the soundtrack of my life. And you started off the battle with the show. Now, you might have thought that Babyface was being funny style, but he wasn't. Like, how the fuck old was you when you made the show?
When I made the show, I was 16 or 17.
Yo, bro, let me tell you something. When I heard the show for the first time, I was in the back of my building playing wiffle ball. You know the plastic baseball bat?
Right, right.
Plastic ball? I was playing wiffle ball when a guy came with a box and said, y'all gotta hear this shit. What's the word? Oh, I don't want no one to be whipping up the meat after I saw pretty girls. So I said, I was playing wiffle ball, bro. Not even baseball, softball. I was a baby when the show came out. So when
it's crazy.
you look young and you great looking, and your man Babyface is like, how old were you? That's a legitimate question.
It was. I was young. Actually, that was the year that Dougie Fresh graduated, and I was in 11th grade going to the 12th. So I was like, yo, my friend just left the school. So I went on to hustling, and I started making beats for everybody. B-Fats, the WAP dance. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know B-Fats, the WAP.
Spoonie Rap, I did that.
Wow.
Spoonie G, I did.
Spoonie G.
I worked with everybody. Hollywood, my brother Starsky.
Those are the pioneers. Starsky, Hollywood. You did all
Big
that.
Big Daddy Kane. I worked.
Who do you see? Starsky with the ball to the ball, the
bang, the bang. Yo, that was it. But I was actually a fan when I was hustling. I was a fan going to Harlem World. And I would see Larry Love.
Larry.
You know what I'm saying?
You
and
know
then
what my shit was?
I was there when the battle. I don't mean to be bold, but put the bar to the bar bullshit on home. You know what I'm saying? And I was only a fan. I ain't know Kumo D.
That's
I just
crazy.
said to myself, I said to my hustling buddies, my brother Al, and all of them, I said, yo, I'm gonna work with him, man. He's like, nigga, you ain't work with nobody. It's so crazy. I
said I'm gonna do some shit. You know, my shit was AJ hit me. AJ up in the Bronx. Up in the Bronx. Rest in peace, AJ.
But I used to go to Harlem World and see all of them when I was in the streets. And then when I got out of the streets, you know, me putting things in the universe got me to the rooftop. My uncle got me to the rooftop because he said, I can't hang out at the after hour spot no more. Somebody had just got shot, 404, uptown. That was Lil Willie's spot. And then the SNS, he bought that too. So
that's crazy.
He told me I couldn't hang out there no more, and that's how I got to the rooftop. He said, I'm building something, and this is where you gonna be. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm gonna set you up a studio. My partner, Gusto, who's my big brother. You know Gusto.
I know Gus
from
Song.
Rooftop. So he was
Yes,
the
yes.
one that took it over, and him and Uncle Willie, they just started, you know, doing major like parties every week, but somebody would get shot once a week. You know what I'm
Let
saying?
me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. And once again, I don't want to say nothing disrespect because I know the youth is watching, but hip hop from day one, the block party, the jams, it always ended with somebody either getting shot or a fucking shootout or somebody robbed. And motherfuckers was running down, stealing motherfuckers' equipment in broad daylight in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Motherfucker be jamming, they be like, yo, give me the speakers, son. Give me the, like, you know, we
Yep.
like to act like hip hop was positive from the beginning. But motherfuckers was getting shot, robbed. You know, that's how that jam ended, you know?
I lost a lot of my homies, man. A lot of my homies. Vaughn Drew, LA, who was actually LA. I don't know if you heard of LA. LA was actually the leader of AZ, Alpo, and Rich Porter. LA was the boss.
I
He
never knew
got
that.
shot in front of the rooftop.
Yeah. Nah, I
He
thought
got
you were
killed.
talking
He
about
got
LA
killed in front of the
Sunshine.
rooftop. What's that?
LA, you remember LA Sunshine?
Yeah.
He was in the group, the Treacherous Street with
Yeah,
Kumo
Treacherous
D.
Street. That was Kumo D and them.
So you came up a hip hop baby, and then you started doing all these R&B beats and throwing, and I think in Keith Sweat,
Keith Sweat
that
was
was
my
the first
first.
time I heard that 808.
Yeah. We did trap back then. You know what I'm saying?
Now
Us,
that's
loose
trap.
ends, you know, that's where the 808 was used heavy. And then all of the different like hip hop groups and from Beastie Boys, everybody used the 808. Look at Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? All of those records, all of them used the 808, including Heavy D. So,
Man, let me tell you about, yo, man, rest in peace, Heavy D, man. I met him. So my whole life I looked up to Heavy D, and I was just telling my wife this the other day and shit. Um, and I met him when my first song came out, Flow Joe. You got a Flow Joe? And I was at the club. They used to throw these parties in Tavern on the Green, and I went to use the
right.
bathroom. I went to use the bathroom, and Heavy D walks in. D Heavy D, like the guy I've been looking up to my whole life. And he walks in, he goes, "You got to flow, Joe. You got to." I was like, "Oh,
Wow, that's your record right there.
God!" Like, and then he talked to me for like an hour, and then later on in life, he used to come down here. He used to fuck with us. He used to come down to Miami, hang out with us for like a week. You know, Heavy D, man, was such a beautiful guy. I was telling
Great
my
soul,
wife
man.
that the other day, man, and he was just a great guy, man. Heavy D. Rest in peace, Heavy D, man.
One of my best friends. It's so crazy. When he passed, we were talking while I was in Korea. And he said, yo, I'm doing my last album, Ted. You got to be on this. And I still got the Skype message, you know, because we was on Skype. And that was the last time I talked to him, you know. And
Yeah.
I moved
Yeah,
back to America. I was living in Korea. I moved back to America when he passed. Because it's, you know, it's like him, he passed, Gene Griffin passed, and then Michael.
crazy, man. And you know, Have, man, Have was something else, man. He was such uh, a beautiful guy, man. And in the battle, you played my favorite Heavy D record. And I know more, but you played that. Man, I can't even tell. You know, they watching,
Which,
but I used to go to Skate Key, man, and they used to play that record. Is it good
good.
to you?
Yeah.
I like it. Is it good to you? Ooh, I like it.
That was the record, man. That was female's favorite record, you know, and so crazy. I have to give credit to Tammy Lucas, because Tammy Lucas, in fact, this is how you can relate all the songs. Like she wrote Goodbye Love, but she also wrote Joy for Blackstreet.
Oh, she
You know what I'm
wrote Joy
saying?
for
And then
Blackstreet.
she wrote Tonight's the Night for Blackstreet. She wrote a lot of songs with Pharrell for Khalees.
That for Khalees. Let me tell you something. What's crazy is you guys were like using real songwriters to make them hooks. Like
Yeah.
we never did. I never did that in my career. Like bringing a real songwriter to write hooks. Like we even created it ourselves, but you was bringing like people who was writing dead ass smash hit records to write a hook on a hip hop song.
On hip hop songs, I did, but most of the songs that I've done, I wrote all the hooks. Let's Chill was a record about, you know, my first love, actually my second love. I was in love, I got hurt, then my second love was my fiance, and she's the mother of my 4 children. So we settled down because she was
So
like,
she's
I'm
still your
tired of this.
fiance with 4, y'all still together from this for years?
No. We best friends right now. You know, we raised some beautiful children, man. And I always lift up my kids' mothers, you know, because they've done the most incredible job with my kids, and you know, it shows. So when I was with her, she was gonna leave me, and I was like, yo, I gotta make a song that's gonna make her believe that I'm staying. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. So Let's Chill was that record, you know, and it got me back in the house. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Tell her, Mama,
So
I wrote this for you. Mama, I wrote this for you.
exactly. It was about in fact, Aaron Hall say her name on my record. Yo,
He
Teddy.
did?
Yo, meet Donna. Meet Teddy.
So
that's Donna.
Let me tell you something. Aaron Hall is from my projects in the Bronx, Forest Project.
I've been to your projects. I used to come there to see the family. He had a lot of brothers and sisters, so we would hang out in the Bronx. Same building.
He's from my projects. And his little cousin is Cheryl from SWV. Coco from SWV. Yep. So you know, even though he was big and everybody know, yo, that's Aaron Hall family. And then Cheryl, I grew up with Cheryl Coco from SWV. So she was a good girl, man. She'd just be walking around the projects all the time. And I tell her all the time, you remember the fat Spanish kid with no shirt on and the chains on? She be like, Joey, I remember your crazy ass. You know, she was good people, man. But Aaron Hall, boy, he was the best at one time, huh?
Man, let me tell you something. He was, man. And you know, sometimes you gotta, like, that's why we're not together today. You know, it's like you get people who are stuck in the way of, you know, yesterday. And now today, you really have to come up with the time or you'll be lost. You know, and that's why I grew up with computers. Like, before computers even came out, I was on an Atari, not playing Tetris or anything. I may remember the time with an Atari computer.
Wow.
So, and I had Logic, you know. So me and Aaron, and I thought we were gonna grow up together to be the same, but I realized that, you know, I'm not saying the same personality or anything, but, you know, grow up, let's make some money. Let's be, you know, let's do business. But it went south for him, and it kind of went straight for me. And when that trails you, you're gonna have to figure out change. You know, I read the book Who Moved My Cheese. I don't know if you're familiar with that book. But
Nah,
that book,
it's called Who Moved My Cheese?
Who Moved My Cheese. And it was about a mouse in the place of a person, changing your occupation or changing where you're from. Sometimes you got to grow with change. Yeah. And that book really taught me a lot. That's why I move a lot, because I realized I can discover more people. So I moved to Virginia to discover music. When I was there was no music scene.
Yeah, you talking to me similar. You know, I grew up with a bunch of guys. A lot of them never wanted to change. And a lot of them got scared when they seen me trying to grow, trying to change. Because, you know, I grew up tough with these guys and putting in work with them. And then when they saw me trying to get
you going up,
go up and be legit and start changing my views on certain things, they got scared because they was like, oh shit, he gonna leave us. Even though, just like my wife said, she said, yo, I never left nobody in the world. You know, either somebody did something dirty to me or fucked up on me, or we're still friends to this day. But
exactly.
I mean, like, yo, we only get one life. Y'all gotta allow me to grow. Just allow me to, and if I grow, I'm definitely gonna be like, yo, come on, guys.
Oh yeah, I'll go back for him.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, but I've had that in my crew and my friends and my brothers and my family where they looking at me like, yo, this guy's trying to change. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to like really get at it, like really get that bread. Like,
yeah. Well,
you know
check this out. When that whole situation happened, the first night, you seen all of the people just talk about you and the friends that, and my family, like, they heavy online. So they seen a bunch of my friends who they thought were my friends going in on me. And then when
what you
that
mean
second,
on the versus battle?
on the versus battle.
That's why I won't do it. That's why I won't do it. I tell Timberland and Swiss, it's a celebration and I love it, but I'm a sore loser and even a sorer winner. So imagine I'm watching the credits and Angie Martinez, who's my wife's best friend, is like, yeah, go Nelly, go Rick Ross, go. I'll be like, fucking, I'll go crazy on this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying, Teddy?
Right. I know exactly what you said.
That's why I can't do it, because I know the outcome. I won't have no more friends. I won't have no more friends.
But you know what?
And if
all
I
of
win,
the same friends, check this
listen,
out, all of the same friends, they got the vapors.
They got the vapors.
Hey, Ted, I wasn't gonna make it. I
Teddy,
mean, like, producer friends, like,
you know,
I mean, like,
you know what's
dudes
my
I roll with. Huh?
Do you know what's my favorite hip hop song in the history of hip hop music?
What's that?
The Vapors.
Yo,
by Biz Markie.
That's my dude, man.
That's my favorite song. If ever, I want my fans to know. I've been told y'all, the Vapors, because I come up with nothing. And they looked at me and they always thought I was going to be the black sheep, or I was going to be the nigga never make it. I was going to be a bum. I was going to be, when I got my first BMW, I had the loudest system. I would play the Vapors so loud around my project.
Me,
and I would drive, Ted, I would drive 1 mile per hour with the seat back like this.
Right?
Right. The same project.
Up the avenue.
The same project like this.
Right there. You run around how many times?
Yo, 10,000 times around the same block. Looking at them like.
I'm the same way.
You stuck on the same way. You gambled on the wrong horse. You gambled on the wrong horse.
You can't.
I was telling you I was here. You didn't believe me. Now I got my money. Now you caught the Vapors.
Thank you. How about, yo, I get notes. I get letters. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's okay. I still love them. I love everybody, man. And that's just the way. You know, come on, after 40, you got to, like, get rid of the confrontation.
Oh, yeah, that's how I try to.
But you also got to get rid of the blessing blockers.
You know what? Oh, of course, man. You know, so it ain't for everybody. And you want to know what? The saddest thing is when we come up, as poor as we came up, we get something called survivor's guilt. And
there you go.
We want to help everybody. But I went broke maybe once or twice. I'm talking about millions. Trying to take care of 30 dudes, 40 dudes that, where are they now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the minute I tell them I can't hold them down, they the ones telling me, yo, you ain't shit. You never did nothing for me. You never showed me nothing. And I'm like, wow. Like, I put these guys on private planes and fucking 4 seasons and paid rents and all that. And it's sad, man, because, you know, you can't do it. You can't. So one of the illest things, somebody who's really, really your fan, is my brother Dre of Cool and Dre.
They came down to Virginia.
No, they're from Miami.
I know, but they came to Virginia a long time ago. Ask Cool and Dre. They came to see me.
Yo, Teddy, they love you, man.
Yo, that's my dudes, man. When y'all sent me the How Deep Is Your Love thing, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I wanted to call him, but I don't have a number. But, you know, I wanted to call him and say, yo, man, thank you. And I'm just watching y'all, man. I remember the time they just... Huh?
That video was a movie, man.
It was.
Now,
Yo,
how
I
deep is
watched the
your love
whole
video?
thing. I was like, yo, wait,
Man.
wait, 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 man. I'm watching this shit. I wanted to see the end. And we didn't know. I was like, yo, wait a minute.
Nah,
It
that
was
shit
him?
crazy, man.
It was
That
him?
shit. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, wow.
My
I didn't
man,
never
you know,
know. I thought it was other dude. I thought it was your other man. I was like,
Herb
yo,
Gotti.
yeah. I thought it was
Nah,
Gotti.
nah,
I was
nah,
like, no,
nah,
it can't
nah,
be
nah,
Gotti,
nah.
but
It was homie. But you know, we just trying to entertain the people, and I personally look up to Keith Sweat so much that I couldn't do nothing but do it justice. Like for the fact that he let me, you and him let me sample the song, and I had to, I spent a lot of money on that video and all that to make sure
I
that
seen it.
the legacy wasn't tampered with. Like, I wanted
Right.
to make sure, like, yo, they let me use this, and yo, I didn't fuck around with this.
Man, when I was on the phone with you, I was like, yo, this is gold. Do your thing. Because when you said Dre, come on, I've been following them since the time they came to see me, man. And they're incredible. Both of them.
They're
You know,
good
and
guys.
I can't wait for us to do something else together, man, because we need to do something, especially for our community, for our culture. We need to do something.
I'm with you, Teddy. I love you, my brother. Thanks for coming on the Joe, the
Man,
Fat Joe
thank you for
Show,
having me.
aka the Joper Show. And let me tell you, we had no technical difficulties, baby. That
That's
shit
right.
was
New
smooth.
York, New York. You know, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you the video to show you that it wasn't outside. I ain't got no more to say because I don't want to condemn nobody. But I'm gonna send you the video of the show and me performing it with no feedback.
Hey, man, it went down legendary. And you broke the internet. That's literally breaking the internet. You have 4 million people
Yeah,
watching.
but you know what? That was God right there. Let me say this. That was God that stopped it and said, yo, because when
So you
Swiss
want to
called
make
me,
it
he
even
said, yo,
bigger.
you don't know what y'all just did.
Teddy, you know
He
what I
said to me,
say? I say the versus thing is so entertaining, right? Especially Babyface is one of my top 5 artists of all time. Like, Babyface different, bro. He different. Babyface,
that's my
his
dude.
pen, no, his shit different, man. The shit he say is different, man.
Yo,
So
his pen is serious. He's one of my
his
most
pen
favorite
is
writers of all
outrageous.
time.
Huh?
Yeah.
Outrageous,
Huh?
right? So what I said was, when we had the first one that didn't go through, I said it was like Teddy Riley was Mike Tyson. He bit Evander Holyfield's ear off.
I sure
The only
did. I
thing
sure
is,
did. I said that.
yo, we didn't wait 2 years for the fight. The fight was 2 days
It
later.
was right
We
back
got
to
the
back.
rematch. So
Yep.
it broke the internet. Motherfuckers
It
was
did.
like, yo, I
It
don't know
did.
what's gonna happen.
Yo, people are asking us now, would y'all do a 3? Because we got 20, we got 40 more.
No, I would watch the third one. I would watch the
Yo,
third one.
everybody